What up? We give it a little time, see who comes in. Oh, I didn't take my evening meds. Take them before people come in and start asking. Somebody came in. Uh, whole bunch of somebody's came in. There we go. Let's see here. Sandra, what's up? Josh, Grumpy, Daniel, Joshua, Billy. Everybody having a good, fun day, right? Well, except Grumpy. He's grumpy. Uh, how far did you make it, Michael? I did not go to the TA. I quit a few miles early. I stopped there at the Lowe's while I'm fuel in the morning. Rusty, what's up? You never get me in there. I'm too honest to be a politician. Paul, what's up, bro? Doing hunky-dory. You got in from San Antonio. What up, Warwick? It ain't too early? Gold and sunny. I hear you. Sea Hill, what's up? What was going on last night, Sea Hill? You was not your normal self. I almost jumped your butt. You gotta be careful nights like last night. JJ, what's up? Paul Boatner, first where? Damn, Stone, I thought you was watching TV. Wow, hey, it's actually showing my likes tonight. What's up with that? Wow. New Mexico, huh? Well, because there's different kinds of scales. Cat Scale is a name brand company, and they are certified. Mr. Stone, I might educate you a little bit tonight. Have you ever read your Cat Scale ticket? Where they're certified and they say that they will go to court and fight for you in court. Do you know what they will fight for? Ah, well, your truck was dirty anyway. All right, Brad. Apologies accepted. I ain't sure what you're talking about, but those days happen. I've had mine. Oh, y'all are lucky. You never see the worst of my bad days. Worst y'all ever seen, I was just talking to well, he ain't a subscriber yet, but he will be. I just telling him about me trying to help that fella slide his axles in Dallas that day. And he commenced to cuss me. I got back in the truck, commenced to finishing on the video. I'd paused the video I was making. I went off that day. That was not a good day for either one. I hear you, JJ. Slow, snowy day. Where are you at, Daniel? Well, that's nice. Now, do you know what they are going to cover in court if you have to have them go to court for you? Well, Michael, you might want to believe Paul, being he is a resident of that prison, state. Well, that's not quite true, Stone. What they tell you on that CAT scale, and you new drivers listen up, and you can read, matter of fact, I've got one. Let me read it to you so that you won't know I'm talking smack. Not that you would think I would. Oh, here it is. It's going to be up here on top. Give me a second. Well, dadgummit, where did I see it at? They might have changed it. It says on here somewhere, and if you want me to keep looking, I will, that they only certify the gross weight of your truck. They do not certify the axle weight. So if you get on that scale and you're fine on your gross, but you're over on your axle, they don't cover it. It might be on the back. See all that writing on the back? Hey, now it's going to drive me crazy. I'm not seeing it. Somebody read their CAT scale, see if you see it. But it used to literally say on here that it did not cover the axle weight. I always thought that was messed up. I wonder if somebody took them to court over that stuff. I don't see it on here now. But it's been forever since I'd read it. Oh, it was up to about 80 here. Look right above the axle weights. Well, let me look. Well, I seen all of that, what you was talking about. I seen that, Stone. The 4 weights shown below are separate weights. The gross weight, thank you, you are correct. You could have put that on here, dude. The 4 weights shown below are separate weights. The gross weight is a certified weight and was weighed by weight on a full-length platform scale. All weights are guaranteed by scale. But and they've got the gross weight is a certified weight in capital letters. Thank you. Stone sent me private messages so he wouldn't embarrass me Hell, I'll embarrass me, dude. I appreciate you, though. Oh, I'm somewhere in Louisiana. Well, that ain't rigged, Josh. That's just a matter of reading what you're doing there. Very good, Hill. I appreciate that. Sorry about your pain and all that. There's several of us on here that can relate to that. Oh. Yeah, I talked to a couple different people today, and we all said, damn, that wasn't like C. Hill. So, Josh, don't start your nonsense. We're working on that Papa Mafia shirt. What do you mean calling myself a... I am a chick magnet. Stone, don't start your shit tonight either. Paul, you might be having to take some boys out to the woodshed. Oh, Louisiana ain't all bad. As long as you don't have to go see JJ. No, you probably wouldn't. We're talking old school, Josh. Oh, I just got a little old cheap Cobra 29. Nothing fancy. It makes it out past the hood. You ain't got proof. Did you videotape it? If you ain't got pictures, I didn't do it. And I didn't ask you to meet up. If you remember my words, I said I didn't want to hear any more crying. All that crying from D was enough for a while. Another damn crying Swift driver. Dadgummit. I had a Galaxy 99 that I had a little bit of fire in it. That was a good radio. There's another one. It was one of the last big radios that I had. I gave it to Kelly. If he came on, he'd tell you. But actually, some of your better radios, believe it or not, are your marine radios. You get down around the Gulf or any of the shrimping places, some of them radios, now you got to have them tweaked and peaked a little bit to do channel 19 and whatnot. But them radios would talk. Oh, generally, them old presidents were good radios. Those were some of the first radios we ever started on, and that was before I got into trucking. Man, I wish I could think of what that thing was. After I sign off tonight, I'll remember the name of it. Michael, what's up? Yeah, Rangers are good too. That's true, Paul. They're not cheap, but they're good. If there's any crying in my world, Rusty, it's going to be me crying. I won't even let Grandma cry. Oh, JJ, you know better than that. I was messing with her, and all she did was start crying more. That's why y'all didn't want to drive up here to Lafayette, because she was too busy crying. She couldn't see through the tears. Well, what he's talking about, Stone, is we used to talk skip, and it wasn't nothing to, like right here, if I'd fired up my old Galaxy and turned the power to it, put the fire in the wire, I'd be bleeding all over these people next to me. And some radios used to melt other antennas. Lucas, what's up? Why ain't you had it tweaked and peaked and a little fire in the wire there, Rusty? See, hell, I know it too well, brother. I'm sorry, but yep, and well, actually, my son's dealing with it as well. I have several kinfolk who do. I hardly use my radio at all. If I see a truck with a major issue, I'll turn it on and holler at them so that they won't holler back because they're not running theirs. If I meet one of our company drivers, I'll turn it on and holler at them so that they don't answer back because they don't have theirs on. Bad weather, I'll turn it on. Half the time in a major accident, I'll turn it on for just a couple minutes just to hear what's going on if I can get the truth. Then I turn it off because I don't want to hear the garbage. Shippers and receivers, I might, or more likely I'll tell them it's broke. Here's my phone number. I don't hardly run it. I don't want to hear all the garbage anymore. I just like I have so many people that don't do Facebook. Michael's one of them. He just got fed up with the garbage on Facebook and he quit. I know several people like that. Well, that's how we got over to CB. It got to be so much garbage, filthy language. When I started on the CB, if you said damn, they'd start telling you, driver, don't talk like that or we won't talk to you. And they would. And we went from where damn was at such offensive language. Oh my goodness. Nowadays you turn it on and you think you're in a bar or on a Navy ship, or it's ridiculous. I mean, and these people that think every other word out of their mouth is an F-bomb or a cuss word, that makes them sound tough or smart. It don't. It makes you sound stupid. And your language don't prove none to me. Talk to talk. Let's see you walk to walk. JJ, don't be lying. I meant every word of it. Damn Swift driver. Well, chances are it wasn't set up right, Josh. Number one, your factory wiring for coaxials, it sucks. It ain't no good. And the antennas they put on them ain't no good. If you're going to run a CB, you got to learn what you're doing and get it set up right. Well, we had a saying back in the day that it didn't matter how powerful your radio was, half time it couldn't make it across the concrete wall or across the medium. But nobody was answering you. You know, so all you got to do is be able to get out far enough where what you're seeing. So if you see a truck coming at you, you won't be able to talk to him. Unless you want to talk Skip. If you're talking 7 milestone, you're doing good. Leave it alone. If you're living in the mountains, you need to have a little bit of fire in the wire, that's for sure. Depending upon the truck you got, do you ever go through West Memphis? If you do, Paul can set you up with a good radio shop down there. Don't know that it'll be cheap. And you won't hear him on the radio advertising. Rusty 102 is awful long. Depending upon where you're going to mount it. And your best place for mounting them is out here on these mirrors. And so many of these mirrors are not made to be mounted anymore like that. This old boy owns this company actually came up with a brilliant idea of putting them on the back of the truck, on the back of the sleeper. Wrong. No, and them being mounted right here on the side of your sleeper on the side ain't a whole hell of a lot better. If you understand how radio waves work, all that just cuts down on it. You would do a call in. Every morning you would call and do a check-in call. Then you'd go do your job, and if you got empty during the day and was going to need a load, you'd call in, and you'd spend an hour to 5 hours sitting on the phone because they'd put you on hold and they got 50 other drivers they're dealing with. That's why you see the phone jacks at the old truck stops at the tables. Seen people go in, and I've been one of them. You call the dispatcher, lay the headset down, order your meal, eat your meal, your dessert, and you're still waiting. I've seen drivers fall asleep at the table waiting on their dispatcher to answer the phone. But none of that came off your drive line. Imagine that. By '08, I'd already gave up on the radio. Well, you need to have your SWRs adjusted in your antenna. Antennas are made to be adjusted. And if your SWRs ain't right, if you ain't got your radio and your antennas matched, then you're just farting in the wind. Huh. Yeah, I have no desire to drive for Walmart. You may have tried it. Well, we have height restrictions over here, and if they ain't careful about what antenna they get, it's going to be too tall. Your antenna still can't be over 13.6. I got up there by Norfolk, where they got the tunnels and stuff, and my antenna was about a half inch too tall, and it started setting off their over height deal. They made me detour around. Well, then I took and just bent the damn thing over, and I made it through the next one. Yep, all the factory stuff in these trucks are trash for CB. Well, there ain't too much metal back there. The best way to explain how CB works, the radio waves that you send out, picture my pond. Now you take a rock and throw a rock out in my pond, and them waves go out from it in a perfect circle, right? That's how your radio waves work. Now if there's a twig sticking up from a fallen tree, now what happens when them waves hit that twig? It starts distorting it, and it don't go near as far. Same thing on the other side, it's continuing to go perfect because nothing interfered with it. Well, that's how your radio waves work. So if you put one behind your truck, what have you got? You ain't talking nowhere. If you mount it on that driver's side of your mirror and you key up on it, it's sending out everywhere except right here. If that makes sense to you. Brandon, ain't seen you in a minute, brother. Hope all is going well. Did everything go your way, brother? What CB shop is that, Hill? I used to live in Georgia. I can't think of a good CB shop. You talking about there at the TA? Let's see. There was one at the Flying J. I think it was actually across the road from the Flying J. But if you're bobtailing for a living, all you're doing is talking to the people behind you. You want to talk to the people in front of you. I don't give a damn what's back there. What's up yonder? I hear you, Daniel. Welcome to trucking. Boy, I don't know. It used to cost $25 for a bench check. And a good radio shop wouldn't charge you nothing. Boy, it's been so long since I had one tweaked and peaked. Well, thank you there, Rusty. You finally got some rain. Well, that means it's cooling off. Did it finally cool off over there? You could ship some of that this way. We got some snow we need to get rid of. Grandma got her Valentine's Day card today in the mail. She was a happy girl. She don't know there's a better one yet to come, but she got that one today. I didn't even walk up there and give me any ice. Some days I'm just lazy. Yonder goes the light. Oh, let's see if I can let y'all see what I'm watching. Mongo, what's up? Actually, Mongo's our mechanic for this company I drive for. Oh yeah, humidity after rain. Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, I called Dwayne today and asked him. Oh, I told him I'd be in Friday. I didn't know if that inverter would. These bologna sandwiches are getting damned old though. Watch that temper, Brandon. I'm a firm believer the whole court system is only a way of making lawyers money. Yeah, Paul was trying to get in to see your shirt, man, and it for some reason it ain't letting me in. And it's my damn PayPal site, or not PayPal, Patreon site. And it wasn't wanting to let me in, aggravating me. Michael, they're talking about you. One, make sure that Mark takes care of your truck. All right, Brandon. Talk to you, brother. Love you. Good night. No, I'm not at the TA. I stopped here at our fuel stop. I didn't even fuel. These places was filling up so fast, I grabbed one before all these rookies could take them. No, I haven't, Rusty. Well, the decked out plastic feet, huh? Well, we've got one, maybe two, that's got the chicken lights, but he's fixing to start putting some chicken lights on selected truck drivers' trucks. He ain't gonna do it to all of them. Well, good deal, Michael. Probably not, Paul. A distribution center, you'll hear called a DC. That's just a big warehouse for Walmart or anybody else. It's where all these trucks bring in a full load of dog food. Well, one store don't need a full truckload of dog food. So they put in that warehouse and they break it down into smaller loads to go out to the individual Walmart stores. Distribution. It gets distributed. Jason, you're late. You're super late. What's up with that? All right, Warwick. Take it easy, brother. What up? Trucking with Brandon. I bet I know who that is. Yep, red and tan, that's oh damn it. That's JT's brother. I can't think of his name. Mongo, you still on here? That red and tan one with the chicken lights. Help me out. What's JT's brother's name? Or Michael, do you remember his name? Brian B. Not off the top of my head. Brian, you're running late tonight too. Oh, it does look good. I had seen it, and I'd sent Larry a text and told him he could do the same thing to my new truck. He sent me a thumbs up, so we'll see. Oh no, no. This ain't the slack night. Oh no. You're probably running late on your load too, ain't you? I tell you what, I don't park at too many truck stops anymore. But some of these places get plumb scary. I parked between two of them that had their curtains closed, so I figured they wasn't leaving anytime soon. Now I wake up middle of the night, one of them's going to be gone, and then I got to worry about someone else bagging in beside me. Yeah, it's called Expedite. Your big head son. Well, big head son, howdy. I'm glad you like it. Or like me, whatever. Well, see, now you were just talking about want to know about them little trucks. Daniel's been sitting all day waiting on the dispatch. Expedite means you just hurry up to wait. Oh, wait a minute, that's trucking in general. Some do. Depends on what you get. Imagine if he's a big head son, he probably takes after his daddy. What do y'all think? Usually they come by that honestly. Let me see where my, right there. Can I slide this over more? There goes my neighbor with his phone on in his pocket. That's a good way to make a pocket call. Big Head Junior, yep. Yeah, but that rolling down that hill can get bumpy. That's what Little Joe's finding out. As he gets older, he's finding out he's acting more and more like Daddy than he ever thought. I've had a couple, look at this truck going by. There you go. See, Stone, that looks like that Pete I had you set up with. Only it was red. But see, that's a bed bug, Mayflower. Oh no, not when you're dealing with truck drivers and wannabe truck drivers. I'm down here by Lafayette. The corn-fed ones, I understand. Oh, those have got showers and everything. Me and Grandma went to a couple of truck shows several years ago, and they had a display of a bunch of the tricked out sleepers. Some of the prices are pretty tricked out too. But some of them was pretty dadgum nice. I don't know, around 10 grand for the cheapest one, which wasn't a whole lot bigger than what you've got on a regular full-size truck. A little bit. They didn't have bathrooms and stuff, but they were pretty nice. TVs and surround sounds and all kinds of good stuff. George, what's up? Got to talk about somebody. You got that right, Rusty. Not in your backyard or where you eat. Well, thank you there, Billy. Yeah, they're legal everywhere. What gets to be the issue is the length of the truck. You go getting a stretched out truck like that, and then you put a 53-foot trailer behind it, and now you got to watch what roads you go on. But that's all part of your trip planning. It's part of knowing your equipment. And you don't see too many of them size trucks stopping and staying in a truck stop. They'll hit it like he did to fuel up, then you'll see them circle right back out like he did. And he'll go find a rest area, or he'll know who his little hidey-hole places, little mom and pops. We're out of Missouri, Daniel. That's not true, Jason. That's not true at all. Boy, you make a lot of statements that ain't really true. Because the last thing that any shipper or receiver does is ask, what size of truck you got? They don't care. You bring their freight in, it's your problem to get it in the dock. And usually when you drive a truck like that, you know how to back it up. When I did the trade shows and the rock and roll, I seen a whole bunch of trucks like that. And them boys and girls, and yes, boys and girls, they will impress the dickens out of you with the way their skills are. I've seen them doing stuff, and I'm damn good at what I do. And I've seen them do stuff that I had issues doing it in a regular sized truck. And all you can do is stand back and all and say, damn, they're good. Thank you again, Philly. They don't restrict length at shippers and those. Amber, what's on, brother? Learning the system. It ain't a big deal. Does he do videos? Ask him make me some videos. We're still working on getting it fixed. Speaking of which, Stone, did you try to upload that video so we can know if that's working or not? Well, that is not correct, Jason. That's what I was thinking, Paul. But he might be trying to fatten Daddy up. 15 in the 10th grade. He's doing good. Battery is low. Come on. There it goes. We'll wind up replacing that before long. Breaking up in Georgia. Yeah, they probably are censoring my videos. No, Philly. Just because you're an expedite don't mean that you get loaded quick or slow. Actually, I don't drink coffee anymore, Rusty. Once in a while, me and Grandma sit around and drink some coffee. The weather starts lighting up, letting up. And I get a tablet working. I might sit out on my patio and have coffee with y'all. That'd be on the weekend. You'd have to be awful bored to spend time with me on the weekend. How many of y'all been coming in Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock and joining us for our services? I had several asking me to do that, so I've started doing it. JJ's been coming in and being a greeter for me. Paul, he's been posting up some Bible verses to what I'm talking about. So we're putting a little bit of work into the channel to bring the Sunday morning services up to be something respectable, something pleasing in the Lord's ear. Vidalia, Ohio. Neil's Landing, that's pretty good little ways outside of St. Louis. That's, if I remember correctly, that's about an hour outside of St. Louis. All right, Stone, take it easy. Well, cool, Jason. Glad you enjoyed it. Well, good. At least you was in church. Oh, who knows where Bandit to be? Hour and a half? Okay. I was thinking it was south, down 55. That's one I'm thinking of. Procter Gamble's down that way. Well, good deal on the Swedish. I had bologna. Stone, be careful, brother. All right, Michael. Enjoy your evening, brother. That's what I was wondering, Hill. If he's going to break out meatballs, he needs to share them. If you ain't got enough to share, don't even bring it to class. Well, if it's the little trucks you're talking about, local deliveries, no, they usually got their own little deal they do. However, sometimes they get held up too. Not like the big trucks, because they'll drive away. They don't have to stay there. They got a route to run. And usually they're not bringing in but a couple packages or a half a pallet or something at the most. So no, they go to a different door. Now if you're talking about FedEx that are in the big trucks that are still running local, place we deliver to in Grapevine, Texas, they get held up just like the rest of us. They got to wait on the dock door. But if you're talking about FedEx Expedite, yeah, they get held up too. All right, I know what you're talking about, Daniel. You went right by a good place to get head cheese, man. Look at this one going by. Another one. That's silver or gray. Kind of hard to tell in the dark. That's right, Rusty. Emperor, that just ain't right. And the truck next door fired up. I'm going to fire mine up. And put that window up. The one on the other side is idling. And I need to idle mine up. Cal, what's going on? What's the crack-a-lacking? Well, evidently Emperor is making Swedish meatballs and he ain't sharing. Should be retired Penske truck. No, the wooden shoes don't bite. I need charging my batteries up anyway. I've been running that AC in the back. James, what's up? They talking some smack, are they? On the CB? That surprises me. Don't mind me, I'm scrolling back. Seen a comment, I was trying to figure out where it came from. JJ, why did you say tanker yanker? Need a light?
Yeah. I misplaced my lighter and I don't know what it did to it.
Just keep this one. I got more.
You sure?
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Yep. You gonna be idling very long? Are you gonna be idling very long?
I got that optimized idle, so it cuts on and off as through the night.
Okay.
So I won't be idling probably an hour tonight.
Alright, cool.
So,
I'll shut mine down then.
oh, you're fine. You don't bother me.
No, I fired it up. I'm doing a live stream and I heard yours had my window cracked.
Oh, but mine just starts up and shuts down as the battery
Yeah.
needs it.
Alright,
But you ain't gonna bother me at all. I'm used to a reefer, so.
cool. Alright, buddy. Let's see, it says it's 76 outside. I'm turning mine back off. And reach back here and turn the AC back on. Ah. Now, what did I miss? Good news and bad news, huh? I've seen the day I would have been happy to have a nasty McDonald's. Let's see, tired and haven't drove much. Purina and OK City. Didn't have my load ready, been there most of the day, then this dang fog. Michael's just talking about that fog early in the afternoon. I hear you, James. Pick and choose, brother. Oh, because you seen a tanker yanker in front of me? Okay. Oh, did somebody hit the thumbs down? Now, Emperor, I thought you was cooking some of the meals that I had made videos on. What up with that? You and your girlfriend were gonna start cooking, remember? Yep, welcome to trucking, you're right. Blue, do we know Blue, also known as TJ? Anybody recognize that name? What's up, Blue? Well, I don't know that we talked about it last night. But yeah, $110. Well, that was a few years ago. Walmart, you can only get them online and have it shipped to your local Walmart. 2.2 cubic feet. And yep, put them right over there in the floorboard. I'd get that and an ice box if you don't have an ice box. $100 for the ice box. Get you a damn good inverter if you ain't got one. Not one of them little 500 watt ones. You better get 15 2000. So that's why you wasn't with us last night. I see how you are there, Emperor. Now wait a minute. You just said it was nice weather. You had the radio, the windows down, radio blaring, and now you're gonna whine about a headache? Turn the damn music down. I bet at your age you had that bass going boom, boom, boom. Well, hell yeah, you got a headache. Learn how to listen to the music right. Did I tell him right, folks? Tell him, tell him. Uh-huh. Jerome, Idaho. Been there, done that. Oh, I know he has, Cal. I was busting his chops. He's in almost every night. Waylon Jennings. I thought he was a heartthrob for the women. Are you sure you got a girlfriend? No, I do not, James. But usually if they're built in, they're over 2,000. I think the ones that are in this Peterbilt is like a 3,000. And mine went out, and they're ordering me a new one, and they said it's like $1,500. But that's a big, heavy-duty one. Well, turn it up if you can't hear it, Cal. You had to wait for service for a headlight? That's right, Hill. You should have stayed south, huh? Actually, Cal, there's a lot of companies, this one included, that don't want you to do that. The new headlights, you can't even touch them. They're high-dollared, and if you get the oil off your skin on them, it will blow the bulb instantly. So yeah, a lot of companies don't want you to. And you'll probably find out your company don't want you to. Is that what it is, Joshua? Talk about tanker yankers, and there's one. Now, I do a little bit of the Man in Black. That would probably Pinky Nesbitt. Well, no. Would have been that girl I was on tour with. What was her name? The one that licked the donuts. Met her, I was on tour with her. Well, and then there was some hockey player. Met him. Don't remember his name. I ain't into sports. And me, him, and a buddy of mine, my buddy knew who he was, but he didn't go telling me, he just introduced him as a guy. We stood around shooting a bull, and a couple other people came in oohing and ahhing over him. And I said, who the hell are you? And he told me. I said, all right, now, who the hell are you? Oh, I used to play hockey. I said, oh, okay, that's nice. He loved it. You're not impressed? I said, no. You ran around on the ice with a stick chasing the cowpuck, you know? Wow. Yeah, I know, Jason. I'm watching that too. But see, I'm not bashful. In the morning when I want out, if they're there, guess what? I'll be beating on some doors saying, you need to move. I want out. I ain't bashful. And any of you rookies out there that think about parking like these guys are and blocking in people like me, expect somebody to knock on your door in the morning. Research. What up? Wait a minute now. They want me to take one, and my wife wants to buy me a fridge. Hope it will work. They want you to take one what? That didn't make sense to me, James. All right, Daniel. Love you, brother. Good Lord does too. Well, if you don't know if you're saved, Amos, then chances are you're not. If you said the sinner's prayer, asked the Lord to forgive you of your sins, admitted you was a sinner, asked Him into your life, then and you did it with a truthful heart and you meant it, then you're saved. If you only gave it lip service to impress people or because you felt you was obligated to, chances are you're not. But that's totally between you and God. You sure that ain't a relay, Emperor? That sounded like a relay to me. I didn't say she licks donuts. I said she licked a donut. Oh, what is her name? She was a Disney girl. That'd drive me nuts too. Some of you youngins wait until you get older and you get that damn sometimers kicking in. I gotta check this AC back here, because I don't hear it blowing. Now I got it a-blowing. And another good lesson for you that are wanting to get into trucking, or even if you're just interested in trucking, what you're seeing on these nights where I put the video on like this, or just reverse the camera, this is what you spend your night looking at. You're really not in some fancy place and seeing the tourist sites and all that good nonsense. You're setting up in a truck stop or a rest area looking at trucks. Oh wow, look, a truck. That's exactly right, Rusty. You know, I met Pinky Nisbet. For you that don't know, that's Mike Nisbet's dad. And I know a lot of you youngins don't know who Mike Nisbet is. He was one of the Monkees. And I actually worked for the man and didn't know it. I worked at a condominium down there on that island I lived at, or I lived on. And the manager of the condominium, I'd go in and have coffee with him. I'd go in early. Me and him, he retired Navy. I was old jarhead. Well, I was a young one then, but out of the Corps. And me and him would just drink a couple cups of coffee and shoot the bull every morning. Regular routine every morning, no big deal. I came in one morning and here's a feller standing there, and I figured he was just another one of the renters or owners of them condos. Met many of them. Most of them had more money than you and I. And we're shooting the bull, and I was one of the newer guys. I watched my co-workers that came in and they tried to just disappear into the walls and sneak downstairs to where we clocked in and all that. So after our coffee and whatnot, I go downstairs and they're like, "Do you know who that was?" I said, "Yeah, that was Gary, our boss." "No, the other guy." I said, "Nah, someone owns a condo." "No, he owns the whole building. That's Pinky Nisbet." "All right, what's your point?" "Well, look at your paycheck. His name's on it." "Okay, what's your point?" You know, and he was there for about 3 weeks, and, boy, are you going to hit that flatbed or what? Damn, driver. Are y'all watching that truck backing up over there behind that tanker? And then this guy blocked our view, but evidently he didn't hit him. But he's about ready to jackknife that train. I don't know what the hell he thinks he's doing. I guess going to try to... Wow. But boss, I don't know my ferry. I don't know how it got bent. That scratch on my fender? Somebody must have did that backing in beside me. But anyway, I'd go up there or go in early every morning like I always did and shoot the bull. I've never been impressed with rich people or famous people. They ain't never impressed me. Yes, I did research. I thought he did a very good speech last night. I think he did his best to bring unity. And the version that I watched, when they panned around to Nancy or any of the Democrat, some of the stuff he said that everybody else was clapping about, they was sitting on their hands. That tells you right there that they do not want to work with the man. And this ain't nothing new in politics. When Obama was in, I'm sure the Republicans were doing the same thing. I did not watch Obama speak. He was doing his way of talking just didn't do nothing for me. So, but yeah, he tried to make a speech about unity, and they weren't going for it. And Nancy Poo-Poo is a vile thing. Well, that's cool, Rusty. I've heard of them, but I don't know nothing about them, Emperor. That's right, Ariana Grande. Thank you, Jason. I was on tour for her. She was a little bitty thing. I ain't a little bitty thing. Very nice young lady, and she is young. Couple of times now, when you're on tour like that, they feed everybody. You know, when you're setting up for a show, they set up a dining hall and have real good. Yeah, it's decent food. They take simple food, chicken and fish and whatnot, and they try to make it fancy. Oh, please, it's chicken and fish. There's only so much you can do to it, you know. But there were several times that I was in there eating when she came in and would talk to her crew. And, of course, I'm invisible because I'm a truck driver. Although she did nod and say hi a couple of times, you know. But many a time I heard her just singing when she came in. You know, the girl obviously loves singing, you know, which I thought that was kind of cool. I often wondered if these singing stars were really into singing just because they enjoyed singing or if they just did it for the show. Yep, exactly, Cal. Cal, you got a lot of learning to do if you think truck stops are home away from home. That's the last thing that these are. This is nothing but a ripoff. All of these truck stops is nothing but a ripoff. Lousy, overpriced food. Half of them, at least they've got decent people working that are halfway sociable, but that's only because they're made to. It's part of their job description. The parking lots are nasty. They smell like a toilet. I tell you what, if you think this is home away from home, Jesse needs to slap you and tell you to look at your home better. Bring you up to date on Hoover? Nope, I sure can't. Gene Tracy? That sounds familiar. Now you did hear my spiel the other night about these. Y'all wanted me to watch YouTube videos, right? Emperor. It boils down to, do I do live streams for y'all? Or do I not do these and watch YouTube videos? Alright, Cal, be careful. Yeah, old Bernie's face, yeah, I seen that. No, that one that was trying to back around, he made it. I don't know where he went, but he made it. Exactly, Paul. Oh, they would get these catering services and stuff, and I'm sure they made big bucks. But some of the stuff was plumb ridiculous. Now, one of the better meals that we got, or well, there were several meals, that was out in Las Vegas. And when you know the head chef that was cooking for us, he was a Texas boy. And he did some real barbecuing too. Your little trucking buddy, cool. Take a picture of him, put him over there on my Simple Living Facebook page. Cool. Yeah, I prefer to go to my shippers and receivers. Exactly, Sea Hill. Oh, ain't nothing to be sorry about, brother. My whole point was I got people always ask me if I watch this video and you ought to go watch this video. Now, I can't do these live streams there and watch all them videos. Unless I cut these out or cut them way down. And personally, I'd rather do the live streams. And I think that girl you're talking about, was she on The Voice? Because I seen some young girl on The Voice that was a hell of a singer. But I do good to remember my name, much less anybody else. Well, that's what I was saying. I wasn't trying to hurt Cal's feelings, but he's still new to this racket. And last thing I call truck stop is home away from home. Yes, they have the stuff that we need to keep you rolling. That part's true. But they're all overpriced. And these truck stop parking lots, they stink. Emptying their pee bottles and stuff everywhere, they stink. Now during rainy season they ain't quite as bad, but come hot summertime, oh my goodness. I just soon, I don't even want to walk on them. Oh, we didn't run hardly any miles, Jason. 200 or 300 mile overnight trips. Now, every once in a while we'd run across country. And we finished up in New York when we came down out of Canada. And we had to run out to California type stuff or wherever we went. But when you did those, you usually had 3 or 4 days, more than enough time. And at those times is when the crew would all take a few days to go home. So they got to go home and the truckers got to go trucking. But some of us would band together and run together, and it was a little bit like old times. Well, he's telling you the truth, I'm sure. You go into a regular truck stop, go into a Love's and walk over there by their food. Look at a can of Beanie Weenies. You know, they're going to be $3 or $4. For a can of Beanie Weenies, are you serious? A loaf of bread, you know, it's going to cost you more than double what it costs out of a regular store. And I understand that part of it is convenience. No convenience store is cheap. But not only is it convenient, they have a captured audience. They have a captured clientele. They know we can't just get these trucks in anywhere. You know, and it's getting hard to get into Walmart. Walmart don't want you. Everybody throwing their trash out. My buddy Pork Chop that you've heard me talk about, he had been in the rock and roll circuit for quite a while, and we talked a lot. When we was hauling boats, we ran together a lot, and he got telling me a whole lot of stories about the rock and roll. And I told him if he ever decided to get back in it or got the opportunity to get back in it, see if he could drag me along. Well, that opportunity came, and he got me in, and I went down to his house in Georgia, down there by Eatonton, Sea Hill, and we was getting ready to go, and 2 days before we left on circuit, he had a heart attack and died on me, which wasn't very nice of him, because he always told me that he'd take me out and he'd teach me the ropes of the rock and roll circuit. He lied. He didn't do that. He died on me. And I miss that brother to today. He was a good Christian brother. We both were Marines, so we was brother in arms. He good feller. But now also, he was telling me about the money that they had made, and while he was out, he came off because his mother had cancer, and he stayed with her through her chemo and all that stuff. And while he was gone, the corporations started taking over the rock and roll circuit, and they started pocketing all the money. So the tips and stuff that the drivers used to get, the buyouts and all this, that stuff just started disappearing. So I did not make near the money he was talking about that they had been making. But I also seen why. And I met several of his old friends, because he did the rock and roll circuit for about 15 years. And there was a lot of people out there that did know him. And they was all telling me that what he had told me was true. Some of the stories that he had told me, I got told by other people. Well, some of them I kind of raised an eyebrow. I wonder if that one was true, or is he being a truck driver? And I found out a lot of his stories were true. So, I did it for a good year. I did her tour. Then I stayed out there in California and did some kind of California rock thing they had going on. That lasted about 3 weeks. Then they wanted me to take my truck, and they started running JB Hunt freight. And JB was not my cup of tea. Still wasn't. And if I was going to do that kind of stuff, I wanted to do it at better pay than what I was getting for that stuff. However, rock and roll circuit was on my bucket list. It's checked off. That's live, not live. Live. Well, I'm glad you like it, Rusty. Yeah, exactly. I go through the same thing, James, with Grandma and anybody else, including Michael, and they're like, well, so-and-so, well, they play. I really don't watch a lot of movies anymore. I don't pay to go to a movie because I smoke too much. I spend half my time outside smoking a cigarette. Hell, I can smoke at home for free and watch Street Outlaws or something. All right, well, tell her to call me, Emperor. She calls me, I'll put some Southern Charm on her, and she won't have to be bothering you no more. Lance, what's up? Well, actually, I seen that commercial on TV about Friday, and they're doing all the Fridays, Friday, and they're frying Spam. I told Grandma I ain't ate Spam in years. I'm kind of thinking about having me some fried Spam. The on production, I've got a buddy of mine, Lance, that works for them. He was a bus driver for them, driving people around to the sets. Well, the one he works for is does the movies and stuff. But you had to become a member of the union to do that. Paul, you ain't right, dude. Well, all of them are inflated prices. It ain't just the TA. Nah, I don't watch Matlock anymore. I did back in the day. Well, good deal, James. Stick it out. Wow, did I catch up with the comments? Mr. Giggles, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Anybody else new that's came on, welcome to the live stream. We're just sitting here chilling out and picking on JJ. So if you feel like you need to pick on somebody, pick on JJ. Well, you could pick on Paul, but I want you to know Paul's a pretty good sized feller. I met him and I think I came up to about his belly button. Tall drink of water. He didn't need to play basketball. He could have just been a damn basketball hoop. Headspace, what's going on? I think I seen you the other night in here. How tall are you there, Paul? About 10 foot 2? That's what Grandma tries to tell me, and I keep telling her that ain't teddy bear, that's a grizzly bear. Then she once started poking me around and saying that I'm Pillsbury boy. I just have to knock her out, line her out. I don't take no dub from that woman. I ain't scared of her. And see, she ain't around here to hear me, is she? Alright, if she ain't around, then I ain't scared of her. Don't be looking at me like that. I ain't getting out of this space. About one more truck over there and I won't be able to get out of this space. Maybe I ought to pull about halfway up so they won't block me. CLC, what's going on with you? Welcome to the live stream. 6'5", is that when you're sitting down? Plumel, you made it in. Oh, I don't know. When I met him, he was armed. I had to de-arm him. He came with a damn Arkansas toothpick. I had to take it from him. I ain't scared. You didn't see him in that video, JJ? Hell, I'm 5'10" and a half. And he was towering over me. I did good to come up to his shoulder. And he's big-headed, so there's another 3 foot. Barn, what's up? Oh, it was pretty good overall. And there's Zach. Well, James, he wouldn't be so big if we deflated his head, but I'm afraid it'd look weird. I just can't see him with a shrunk up head. Damn good thing he ain't a Texan. I don't know if they make a hat that would fit him. Well, he couldn't wear a cowboy hat down here. See, JJ, I'm leaving you alone. I'm picking on Paul. Might start on Zach here in a minute just for the fun of it. All right, Carlos. I mean, Paul. Here we go. You love it and you know it. It only hurts for a little while, right, JJ? Yeah, I felt bad earlier today. I was talking to JJ and I got D crying. I thought for a minute JJ was going to start crying. I just didn't want them to flood their van out. They was driving. I was afraid it was going to short circuit all them tears in there. Well, they're starting to circle back out. They can't find parking. I guarantee you there'll be at least one more between me and that A2B there before morning. Good thing I ain't in a hurry tonight. Or in the morning either. Howdy! I got talking about straightening grandma out. I had to put my wife beater on. Alright, actually it was already on. I had to take the other one off. I kind of like it when I got that camera reversed. Then I don't have to feel like y'all are staring at me. Oh, Carlos is working hard. His business is booming right now. Uh-huh. JJ, get off the drugs. You got in trouble? You got to get to work? Well, what'd you get in trouble for? You didn't get your chores done today and you got caught watching YouTube, didn't you? Honeymoon's over. The wife's cracking the whip. I told you to take the trash out. I guess he's going to set up the park over yonder. Uh-huh. Some of them don't know how to handle it. See, and that's something Stone's going through. He's gone through so many co-drivers because they didn't do their homework. They were not told the truth about what it's like out here. And then they come out here and find out what trucking's really like and they can't handle it. That's what happened to his last driver. He just couldn't handle it and he's staying home. That's what just drives me crazy. All these people lying to the new drivers. But why? What good does that do? You go lying to people and you get them to come out here under false pretenses. Then they get out here. They've invested money and time into it. Companies invested time and money into it. Then they get out here and find out the truth, and it ain't their cup of tea. They find out they actually have to work for a living. Lord forbid. And the biggest killer is being away from home. Well, when you start looking at being a truck driver, didn't you think about being away from home? Didn't you talk to your spouse about you being away from home? I mean, that's kind of nature of the beast. Even the glorified movies show that. Well, we're pushing 2 hours already. And I'm fighting a hell of a headache. Maybe I should change my headlight. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't allowed. I'll be with you in a minute. Oh. And I'm fixing to pan over here to the right. That's the exit. They come off the fuel island. See that truck backing up? That other flatbed right there beside, that's the exit. I don't know if you can see the yellow poles and stuff, but now they're going to block the exit to the truck stop. Now, what are you thinking? Uh-huh. JJ, trying to tell you, you might open a can you don't want to open. Well, what did you do, James, to make better money? And for those that are just listening, James said, yeah, that being away from home is the hardest to get used to. At least for me, it was. In the start, till Mama told me I better make better money on the road. So what have you done to improve your income? Now, over here on our left, see that truck? And he's got some blocked in over yonder. Some of them just don't think. Well, what y'all think? Should we call it a night? Did you run out of stuff to say and people to pick on? What you want to do? Yes, you would, Paul. Don't buy into that line. You thought you was counting the days till harvest season. I bet she's counting them even quicker. Okay, 28 years, you're right there with me. But see, when we started, we could still do some outlaw trucking. See, I paid my dues. Now, I got to get into outlaw trucking a little bit earlier than drivers can nowadays. Well, hell, they can't get into outlaw trucking like you and I did. But where I lived in Missouri, once I had a year's experience, I was already with an outlaw outfit, driving a large car and out there profiling. They can't do that no more. I was on the phone with an old trucker buddy of mine today. I told him, I said, here I am running 70 miles an hour, and I'm passing all these trucks. Now later on, I had about 4 of them just walked right on by me. But it's 71 mile an hour, 70, 71. And I'm one of the faster trucks out here. Really? Back in the day, if you was only running 70, you better get the hell out of the way. Yes, Paul started out OTR. He paid his dues and did his time out here. Then he got married. And that came to a stop. Actually, I don't know if that part's true or not. I'm making that up to pick at him. But he told me what he does during harvest season. And boy, does he work. All right, CL, take it easy. God bless. Yeah, she cut his legs out from underneath him. I always said if you gotta be whooped, what's better than to be whooped by a woman? Now I want y'all to look over here. That ain't, let me get this up. There we go. Now that old boy, there's the one I showed you a minute ago in the front. Now look at the one behind him. Now hopefully he's only stopping there to make a sandwich or maybe even a 30-minute break. Hopefully he ain't gonna park up there for the night. Well, the new trucks we got coming out, they're going to be 68 on the cruise and 70 on the floor. And I told him, I said, that tells me you want me to run 68. Well, no, you can run 70. I said, no. What's your cruise set at? If that's what you want me, if that's what you want to set the cruise at, that's what you want me to run at. And I tell you now, that 2 miles an hour is going to make a world of difference. Yeah, that truck I pointed out is pulling out now. I am not going to sit there with my foot on the gas pedal all day. Now, if it's weather, that's a different thing. Oh, I'll tell you in a heartbeat, Grandma put a stop to my flatbedding. Now, facts be known, any of us could have just blew off what the wife wanted and did our thing, because it is our job. But that's like when we stopped riding a Harley. You know, my brother got crippled up on his. My son got killed on his. A buddy of ours up in the Michigan area, he got hurt on his. And then my uncle got killed on his. And Grandma asked me to sell our Harley. She didn't want to ride no more. I sold the Harley, because I don't want to ride without Grandma. I kind of like the old broad a little bit. That's why I married her, because I like her a little bit. So sometimes, just to make your spouse happy, and I can tell you now that when I wrecked that flatbed, and them 2x6s stopped right here by my head, they was less than 2 foot from killing me, because they make you, federal law says you have to have that headache crack, either on the trailer or on your truck. But then they allow them to load that stuff up above the headache rack. Now, does that make any sense? No. Yeah, I didn't have a problem quitting flatbedding. That scared the dickens out of me, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, and that old boy told me that he was buying me a new truck. Joe, I'll have you a new truck here in a week. Now, that's all right. I don't need it. Well, what do you mean? I said, that might not be a hazmat load, but it's a hazardous load. If I ain't getting paid hazardous duty to haul that stuff while they load it above that headache rack, I don't want to do it no more. Let's see, somebody sent me a picture of the ride. Well, it's taking it a minute to load. Ooh, my battery's way low on this phone. Okay, that's it. I know who it is. I did small tanks, straight truck tanks when I did off-road. No baffle. Boy, that can give you a ride. Piece of junk off-road construction. Trying to remember how many gallons it held, but it held a lot. And I got where I would fill that sucker up as full as I could. I learned that took a lot of that slosh out. Well, folks, we hit the 2-hour mark. I'm getting real low on my battery. Milk and cream too, eh? Well, I'm going to call it a night on this. 2 hours long enough. I appreciate everybody that came in. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Y'all remember, good Lord love you. So do I. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.